guys, it's Ty with Ty the Dog Guy on the Daily, and I want to talk a little bit about pressure. You'll hear some dog trainers, myself included, talk about something called pressure and release. And so pressure and release is essentially, teaching a dog through pressure and release. So pressure maybe through a leash, maybe through body language, like maybe a leash is kind of pulling towards me, and as the dog comes, the pressure releases and the dog gets praised. Or maybe the dog's on a bed because we've told the dog to go to the bed, and he gets up and we move towards the dog, providing some body pressure, and the release comes as the dog goes back. So anyways, pressure and release is a concept that's not unique to dog training. It's, horse trainers use this. It's, and it's really how life is kind of governed, right? You get up in the morning because there's pressure. Now, maybe you don't consider it pressure, but it is. Maybe you love your job. There's still pressure to earn a living, to pay your bills. There's pressure to make breakfast. There's pressure to, like I say, everything that you do. Go to the movies. There's pressure because you're bored or you want to have fun. And there's, the lack of fun that you don't want to have. So anyways, life is pressure and release. Now, here's the problem with training that is just about fun, that there's not any pressure involved. When I say fun, I mean treats and praise and stuff like that, which should be, a big part of any training program. But when that's the sole part of any training program, what happens is you get dogs that are very one-dimensional. You get dogs that don't know how to work through pressure. And the problem is life is pressure. It is. There's dogs out there, there's cars, there's other people, there's shopping carts, there's scary things, there's Halloween decorations. There's all these things that potentially are external pressure that can be put on your dog, that if your dog doesn't know how to deal with pressure, like I said, they're a very one-dimensional dog. And so what we want to do in any sort of training program, teaching a dog about pressure and release, is helping the dog realize that when there's pressure, look to me as the owner. When there's pressure, I can help you solve it. By paying more attention to me, by listening to commands, by doing this is a good thing. And so what you have is a dog that has depth, a dog that understands that when I feel stress, you don't just react like a crazy person, crazy dog, that you actually think and you work through it and you deal with that pressure in a way that's healthy and that kind of, works through it. But like I say, if all you're doing is just treats and loves and hugs and giggles and rainbows and unicorns and all these wonderful things, then you get a dog that cannot deal very well with the world. Not always. I mean, some dogs by themselves are dogs that, have balance, dogs that don't need a whole lot of help. They're strong dogs, mentally strong enough, rather. But, any dog that might have any sort of anxiety or a little bit of challenge, if they are not taught through the owner how to deal with pressure and how to subsequently release it in a positive way, they will release it. And the release will look like destruction. The release will look like aggression. The release will look like fear and running away from problems. The release will look like a ton of things. Most of them we don't like. I got a thorn in my shoe as I'm talking here. Sorry, guys. So like I say, if we leave it up to the dog to determine how to release pressure, they're going to do it in ways that make sense to them. Sometimes it's not bad, sometimes a dog figures things out pretty well on their own. But most of the time, they live in a domesticated world. They live in a world that's not their creation, and so they need our help to understand how to deal with pressure, how to release that pressure, things like that. So, like I say, anytime that you're dealing with a dog training program that is so polarized, whether it's all pressure, and very little release, or all fun and no pressure, you can know that you're probably using a dog training program that's not going to get you the results that you need.